so I really want to emphasize what's in the way of creating a vision is mostly doubt, uncertainty, fear. You name what it is. Fear people make fun of me.
Here's a deceptive one that I see all the time. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Too busy.
So before I did that immersion 3-day program, I was in an immersion 3-day program from 7 in the morning to midnight for 3 full days in a row. Before I did that, every time I sat down to do goals, every time I sat down to think about my future, it was just another version of the same life I already had. It was just a little bit better, a little bit more, a little tweak here and a little tweak there, because the box I was living in, the linear thinker, left hemisphere, logical recruiter, because that's where I started my career in recruiting, put one foot in front of the other, was the only way I knew how to think. And I had a coach, and her name is Gina Gabellini. She's Masterpiece Coaching. She was fabulous, and she was all about working with corporate people like me, high producers who were stuck in old thinking. And part of what she questioned me, like, what makes you think that's the only way you could go in your career? Why would you think that way? The linear thinking will only always get us a linear result. But what if we could bust the doors off of what's possible? And I would say, yeah. But for me, I actually had to experience a pivotal moment of a breakdown, a crisis. I had a software company. I was leaving the recruiting industry, already sold my company, moved to Silicon Valley, and we started a software company. And all sorts of things went wrong. I talk about it a lot in the retreat. But the day that I filed the lawsuit to get my intellectual property back, because that was like all I had sunk $1 million in a year into this company, and it was not aligned with my values at all. And so my partner left, and then it was time for me to leave. And the day that I hit bottom, I said to my coach, now what do I do? And I'm whining and crying and everything sucks. And she said, maybe now it's time to live the life you've always dreamed of. I was like, oh yeah. 6 months later, I was in the world of culture, doing culture, working with the same clients I was working on over there doing recruiting. And a year and a half later, we got into the Inc. 5000. But it took this hard-headed woman, which is good in a lot of things, but not good when I'm talking about myself. It took a hitting bottom, proverbial bottom, to really go for the life I had invented. So Keisha talked about it. Once you create this vision, there's a lot of trash talk in your head that'll tell you why it can't happen. And you can't just create a vision and walk away. You've got to continue to revisit that vision, and maybe even every day create an intention. My intention for today is to stretch myself farther than I stretched yesterday. My intention for today is to live my future self now. And so there's work that you have to do once you create that vision to keep that vision alive.